Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episodes of Team Area Combos here. I am your host, Zerms Force, that's Flying High, with here Jacob, with my side host, Jacob Man, and also with one of our guests that's been here often is TA Wolf.
Hey, what's good, guys? This is Shako Man here. Good to be here as always.
What's up, everybody? TA Wolf here, and thank you guys for having me once again. Very honored to be here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
Thank you. Okay, for this team area combo here, it's going to be pretty straightforward today. We're going to be talking about the EVO main game lineup for this 2019 season right here. That's going to be ending up at EVO. We're going to also talk about a fighting game that because of EVO right there, we're going to be talking about it because of the shows of regrowth for it. Honor Night in Birth, ex.last st, and then we're going to also talk about Marvel vs. Capcom 4 rumors, and then we're going to also talk about new DLC characters for Tekken 7 and also Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. So yeah, let's go right into it right here. Basically, about last week or so, we had the EVO main game lineup revealed. So that basically had Markman and Mr. Wizard right there telling us basically the main game lineup for this EVO that's going to happen in August, and basically the official games that they're going to be hosting as a main tournament game that will get official stream time for their pools and everything to make sure that they have to do it. And let's go right into the games. Obviously, most of the games right here are mainstay games, which were going to be expected for it, and then obviously there was a couple titles that we weren't going to be expect for it too. So let's go in and actually talk about each one individually right here. We will get the main ones out of the way first because obviously there's going to be main ones and those were probably pretty much expected. First one is Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is obviously going to be freaking like there almost every single year until basically it dies out or basically until
the next like Street Fighter game like comes out.
Yeah, basically. That is 100% there because of Capcom's involvement with EVO, making sure that is a mainstay lineup game. Next, we have Tekken 7. Tekken 7 obviously is a huge staple fighting game right there, and it's a streaming property and a streaming have to watch right there. Basically, if the new DLC comes out, which we'll talk about later in the stream, it's 100% certain that this game was back in EVO again. That's because it's still fucking amazing. It's an amazing technical fighter, and it has like some of the highest level game outputs there is right there right now. And then obviously we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate right there. Obviously this new Smash Bros. Games is really fucking good, and obviously Nintendo's probably like putting the physical support behind it right there. And basically it was obvious that this game was going to be at EVO. Next we have Dragon Ball FighterZ, which was the most popular game at EVO last year, and it's 100% sure that was actually going to be in it again right there. It was the most entered game last year right there, and it's still probably one of the most watched games this year too.
Oh yeah, it was. That was pretty big, man.
Yep. Then we have Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which was a very hype game last year too, and actually I think it didn't get revealed last year. It got revealed in 2017's EVO, and and basically it was in there and it was actually pretty freaking hype as hell too, and also it was also at EVO Japan too right there, and it was very hype there to watch also, and definitely it was. Obviously, they're still putting support behind it right there with more new DLC characters, and we can't wait to watch it. Mortal Kombat 11, that was probably obvious right there because another one studio making sure this game was going to be in there, and definitely going to be hype as hell to actually see what the new Mortal Kombat is going to be like right there. And then we have Soul Calibur 6. So Mortal Kombat 6 is basically a new 3D arena fighter, but similar to Soul Calibur, obviously. That is a pretty freaking an awesome fighting game too. And I definitely say that it definitely deserves a spot right there. It's basically a highly polished fighter, and it's actually pretty hard to watch too. Then we got the two games that no one really expected to be in here. Well, one was kind of hoping right there. The other one actually was not being expected. The one that wasn't being expected right there was Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown is a fighting game that was based back in the was a arcade fighter back in the 90s, and also had like a couple new ones for the PlayStation 2, I think. But it's well known for being a classic arcade fighter right there that is being highly brutally violent right there, because of you can basically cut your opponents in half with swords, and basically has some of the highest damage outputs in gaming with it, that you can literally die in one hit depending on circumstances and how you pit your opponent. And this
it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and the damage is very high. Like it's extremely high. We're talking about basically probably season 2 damage high in Street Fighter 5, where basically you can just freaking melt opponent right there, but just because by them activating a certain V trigger. It's basically like insane right there for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we will definitely see more stuff about this later on in the year, but I definitely am seeing this right now, and
I was really like shocked and surprised that the game like made it into the lineup.
Yeah, definitely good.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely good right there. The publisher probably obviously put some more freaking core value money into it, if you know what I mean. Yep, definitely. And then the final game that people were hoping to get in and actually did make in was Under Night in Birth. Under Night in Birth exe.last est, which is a extremely unique anime fighting game that basically takes a lot of aspects from a lot of other games out there in the market and combines it and makes it work with a lot of different mechanics. But we will get to that soon enough right there, because we will talk about that more in depth. But let's talk about why this game is actually important right now, and what has also happened with another game that they make it in. Under Night in Birth right there is a extremely underrated game right there that got released back in 2012 with the vanilla version of the game right there, or 2014. I'm not 100% sure.
It was 2012.
Okay, 2012 right there. That basically, when the game was originally released right there, it was basically a unbalanced match right there with basically infinites galore and everything like that, and basically it was that. But it was known to be an extremely fun fighting game, besides the infinites in the game. But they made it nowadays where basically they made it so that the game is actually extremely fun right there, and a warning right there with a lot of other different mechanics and everything like that. And people were hyped about it right there because it's considered to be one of the best fighting games of the last 10 years. Because of all the different things right there that you can do in the game, and how well thought out each mechanic is right there to actually make it so the game feels fine. And if you play the game right there, it's actually extremely fun to actually play too. So yeah, we will get into more Under Night in Birth in a bit, but let's talk about a game that did not make it in, that basically was a big spread. The word spread on Twitter pretty fast right there, and people thought negative things about the company for Under Night in Birth that made the game, the Lover. But we will pull some things about that, but in a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but basically, after the last game got revealed right there, Under Night in Birth, people were very surprised that Melee did not make it back in again this year. Because Melee, since 2013, right there, was a mainstay game right there. And because EVO basically blowing out the game, it blew up in popularity, even though obviously it was still getting things. But because of EVO, and because the console really around back in the day right there, that made the game blew up, it made it as one of the most hyped tournaments of the year. And it was a mainstay for a lot of it right there. And people were very surprised that it didn't make it back again this year at all. I don't know why they didn't make it back in again this year. Probably because they think the game might have been. The game was 18 years old at that point when the game was to get out. Right, like this Melee is like 18 years old right now when the game originally was released, and people thought like the game probably should be put aside for now as a mainstream game, and let another game take the limelight now. And it's actually probably a good thing because I think like Unite in Breath right there is something that needs the spotlight a bit because it is an extremely unique fighting game that we have to check out.
I did have like a feeling that Melee wasn't going to be in the main lineup for this year and going forward, mostly because of Smash Ultimate.
It says, well, we don't know the reason why they don't have Smash Ultimate and also Melee in it. We don't know if it was something with Nintendo right there, like saying that we don't want Melee back in the game at all, or they decided like EVO decided not to have Melee in because it think it had its run and they wanted to try out another successor to the game, another game for it to actually have its chance to shine.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. So it's most like theories and whatnot.
Yeah. For me, I think I'm leaning with there's something Nintendo involved because they really put in work for Ultimate. It's not like with Smash 4 where you could feel like they could have did better. I feel that they really put in the work for Ultimate, and we know Nintendo is actually very protective of its games, and I really think they had some sort of influence. Maybe not like a super big influence, but maybe they did have something to do because Melee is constantly one of the games that has highest viewing numbers, right? And it's also a really exciting game to watch if you know what's going on with Melee. So I feel like maybe there's this fear that if you put Melee in, maybe Ultimate doesn't look as good or as hype or something along the line, because I couldn't really understand like as a business move for EVO, like why would you get rid of one of your highest entry games every year, But maybe there's some corporate pressure. Maybe it's just a logistical decision. Maybe EVO doesn't want to get CRTs every year. We don't really know, but it's definitely surprising. And some of the other games actually surprised me a lot as well. For example, like Samurai Showdown is a game that hasn't even come out, but they're betting for it, right? So people were surprised with it. I think it's a good surprise though, because it's a type of fighting game that was kind of becoming a lost art, like very footsie heavy, very defensive fighting game, because nobody wants to press a button there because you could die, It's not like other fighting games where there's relatively low risk for throwing out stuff. Here it's losing the game, So I think it's gonna be interesting to watch and interesting to play for sure.
So yeah, so let's have a better discussion with the other games right there and see what they did for us. Obviously, like all those main games right there, they probably had it in right there because they probably had a deal for it for all the other ones right there. Even with Semi-Solar, that is obviously probably something from the developer right there. They had probably a deal with the developer right there. The only one I didn't think they actually have a deal with the developer is FriendSpread, because FriendSpread is not known for having a lot of money being thrown around. so I but that's there's a thing that basically the reason why like US Unite in Birth got into EVO was because FriendSpread, right, the developer behind Unite in Birth, gave a bunch of money to EVO to have this game represented as a mainstay EVO game. Which, if you know, like Nintendo, if they wouldn't want to made it in it right there, they would have fucking but just said, here's a pile of money right there, make sure like Melee's in it. No, basically, it was either probably fan favorite right there, or Nintendo did not want Melee to be back in it. I definitely do agree with that, because obviously with the new Melee right there is out right there, basically Melee, they want probably to show off and hey, this new game right there, been doing it, and they don't want to, because they're probably not making any money off Melee anymore, because because they only can buy Melee right there used right there at game stores or online. Then basically they're probably not going to make any money, and any port that they do right there, people are not going to buy any port, because they say that they want the original feel and experience for the game at all too. And I think it's definitely like 100% Nintendo's pushing right there. That's why Nintendo's not. That's why Smash Melee is not at EVO this year. I definitely say that's a very big push. So I do agree with you, Wolf, that it's definitely most likely Nintendo's decision not to have Melee at the event, or like basically Nintendo made a push towards it to help have Ultimate Item, but not Melee.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's like a corporate backing. And as for Under Night in Birth, I don't know if the developers threw money at EVO or not, but it's definitely a game that deserves to be there, because it has a really hardcore community that's been supporting it like for years now. So I feel that maybe it was a move on the developers' part to like try to get more people into the game, but also definitely it's EVO at least recognizing that a community for this game exists, and that it's a hardcore community, so
It is, man.
it's good to see. And I feel like it's gonna be one of the hypest games this year, because there's no Guilty Gear this year, or no game that's like super technical 2D anime fighter, and this year it's gonna be that and BB Tag, which is kind of like a more simple version of
That's it. Well, I would say the only one that actually has more technical aspects right there is basically Dragon Ball FighterZ, because of basically the movement and knowing where to actually be at right there in the game is a huge, very, very big part of it right there, because of like the neutral is basically very hard at high level right there. That's very, very freaking hard to actually do anything. But obviously right now, like depending on what main Sting Fighter is right there, you probably might see some very, very high level technical stuff in the game. Because there's some fighting game characters in it that involve freaking like negative edging, like freaking like charge participating negative edging stuff in the game. That is very fucking hard to do.
Yeah, for sure. I think Tekken actually and Tekken and UNIST are gonna be the two very hardcore, very technical fighting games this year, or at least that they require a lot of knowledge.
I feel like it too, man.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Tekken 7 right there is probably good, like definitely up there as the most technical fighting game out there with UNIST. That's gonna be at EVO this year.
Yeah, to play both of those games, you need to know so much about characters, frame data, punishes, neutral game. In Tekken, every character has like 100+ attacks, so you have to be ready for everything if you're gonna play it at high level.
Yeah.
And in UNIST is just like so technical, so like manually demanding, that it just gives off hype, So it's definitely good to see EVO with these types of games still, because I feel like in general fighting game developers are betting for like a more simple, more accessible type of fighting game, and it's a move I don't really agree with, because to me the most hype things is seeing like technical super smart reads, cool combos that require hard execution, those types of things, right? So when you have we could see it last year with Dragon Ball, when you have like Bardock players just doing Bardock stuff 1,000 times, it's not as hype as when somebody shows up with like a Majin Buu or like another technical character, right? So I feel that rewarding very simple or very accessible fighting games in general takes away from the hype that you could generate with your game, because the more complex your game is, the more options you have, and the more options you have, the more advanced mind game and way of thinking you have, right? So to me, it's a very good move that Evo threw in both of these games, and it's an interesting bet to see a very footsie heavy game like Samurai Showdown as well. The one that really surprised me though was Soul Calibur, because it's in essence very similar to Tekken. Of course, there's differences, but I was really surprised by seeing two 3D games. It's not every year that we see this happen at Evo.
Yeah, we don't, man. Like the last time we had like a Soul Calibur game and Evo was back in like 2012 with Soul Calibur 5. It's always been like a long time since we see any Soul Calibur game in action.
Yeah, it's a rare thing.
It is.
Yeah, definitely a rare thing right there. Definitely. So it's, yeah, like I think every single game probably does deserve a spot or anything like that, because there's people that still play Street Fighter 5 for sake like that, because even though it's not a good fighting game, they still played it because, you know, they're good at it and they've like so skill on it, even though it has their problems like that. But there a lot of games have problems per se in every single thing right there. But it shows that every single game and every single player that plays this right there is showing their support for the game right there, and basically every single game probably does deserve the spot. I probably would not change a single spot at all. So, because even if like 7 Showdown right there, we don't know how the game will play right there, but since it's a brand new game right there and it has a close thing, and with how we know what the other games are, I definitely would still love to see what it can do at the event.
For sure, and I feel like there's so many fighting games that deserve it now that the question rises up, you know, like, should Evo grow even more? Should it have more games? Or should there be an Evo Classic like many people were talking about on Twitter? Like,
oh yeah, I saw that.
An Evo with Melee, Marble, CBS2, Super Turbo. Like, what's the next step for the FGC? Because clearly big events like Evo can't have every game, but the thing is there's many games that are still being played, that have a hardcore community, that have like many players. So what is the next step, and what's going to happen in future Evos and future tournaments, you know?
Well, I mean, they do have the side tournament championships at Evo. They use like, you know, help them out, you know.
Yeah, they do, but they're community run, right? And
yeah,
like I believe that we know that it's not the same to see your game in the Mandalay Bay streamed in front of thousands of people than to have it on the Evo 8 stream, you know, and not have a stage. Like, I think that those types of things, they may not really matter as to the dedication people put it into the game, but it's definitely a really hype incentive, you know, to like see yourself playing in the main stage. It's a feeling not many people get, and it's what makes Evo so cool, right? Like proving yourself in front of everyone. So I feel like having these types of games as main games really makes a difference, you know. And I was gonna bring up the example of Combo Breaker. I feel that it's a tournament that really does things right. They have so many games and they have them as main events. It's not like a side event, and it really gives the importance every game and the hype every game can have like onto the table. So what's it gonna be with Evo this future years? You know, that like that's my question. Seeing as every game here deserves it, I don't think any game does not deserve it on this lineup.
That's good. Definitely do agree right there. So, does anyone have any more questions? You know, any more statements to add to what we think about the Evo game lineup? Because I don't at the moment.
I'm surprised that DOA Devil Life 6 didn't like made it into the main lineup for obvious like reasons. What happened to that game at
Well,
Evo Japan this year?
Well, I think it's because of core values. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says we don't know why Dead or Alive 6 is not added right there. People most likely right there is because they probably had a deal with the Samurai Showdown vendors right there or something like that beforehand, before Dead or Alive 6 right there got into play. And before that right there, they probably had like a deal beforehand right there, and basically because one thing, they did not freaking immediately cancel the game right there after that event right there, because I think the reveal was only like a week or two afterwards right there. So I did think they probably had the games like always set in motion right there before that. So so definitely it's not because of the thing that happened at EVO Japan.
Yeah, I feel like it's that too.
Yeah, so
yeah, I feel like Dead or Alive is a cool game to play, but it's definitely not for the market that not only the FGC but the world is nowadays. Like when things are becoming more politically correct, more censored, and it's not like the early 2000s or early 90s where anything could really fly, you know? Like you can watch it in the movies, in cartoons, in video games, and it's definitely part of like a cultural change. So I feel that EVO didn't even want to risk anything from the beginning, knowing the type of game that Dead or Alive is.
Yeah, that is true. But just so you know, I believe when they were making original Dead or Alive 4 or 5 with that, they wanted to actually make a traditional fighter game and tone down the fan service and everything like that. But the fans of Dead or Alive right there basically hated it because of they were there with the fan service, and because of that, they had to go back to the fan service. Or basically, they thought no one was going to buy that game. Which basically it's try to bring in new people to the fighting game right there, and lose your old audience right there, or basically not get anyone with new audience members and keep your old audience right there. It's basically a freaking lose-lose situation right there with that. That's something that's really hard to actually do right there. So, but what can they do about it?
It is what it is.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to the next point of topic real quick. The next point of topic right there is going to be AutoNetInBirth.ex, exe.latex. This is a anime fighting game known for its a unique multi offense and multi unique combo system and unique various types of system mechanics in the game. This has a lot of interesting system mechanics right here that basically is not in a normal fighting game. Basically, it's let's say it's a mixture of a sheet fighting game with it's a 1v1 2v 1v1 versus the 2 fighting game that revolves around footsies and stuff like that. But then it has all the different types of mechanics like the Guilty Gear system has, that it also has an air dashing mechanic, but then it has the combo system relating to Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3, where basically all the moves can chain each other right there, but if you are unique with it right there, you can get unique combos right there if you're actually experiment enough to actually do it with. And basically it's a lot of all those different types of mechanics that you can actually do. Basically, this game is known for also allowing basically all types of play styles. Right? You can do a hit-and-run play style, you can do a keep-away cage style, you can do a rush-down play style. All the types of play style, and it's actually viable in all those types of things that you can do. Let's try to go off with multiple things right here. Basically, obviously, it has everything like normal right there. There's different types of normals right there. There's command normals, low normals, jumping normals, everything like that. But there's also this blocking right there. But there is a special type of blocking called sealed, which is basically it's their game's types of push block, where if you hold back in D, which is basically a mechanic right there, it's like as a button right there that if you hold back a D or down a B right there, a shield is activated right there that allows you to reduce any block stun you get by 3 frames, so we can cover faster from normal like attacks. So that you can, so you have less, you get put in less block stun because of it, and basically you also get a block of guard meter, which is basically another mechanic right there, like that you use with Ursa right there. But it's also a risky mechanic right there that you cannot switch from low guard to high guard quickly because of it. So you have to use it right there and hopefully guess correctly. And basically you can get basically guard broken right there or fall out of it using it right there. So basically it's similar to like reflect in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where basically you can reflect right there and get out of situations free, but you cannot mass out of it right there and basically you get fucked. That's actually pretty cool right there. Then other things right there. There is obviously there's a veil off right there, which is basically sparking in there, but it's more like sparking right there, which is basically if you veil off right there, you basically power up right there, you basically getting full meter bar so that you can do EX moves right there and basically have other different mechanics right there. So let me go to the system real quick. Basically there is the grid system right here. The grid system right there is a tug of war type of mechanic right there, that if you rushing down your opponent right there, you gain the grid thing that allows you to roam and cancel your attacks. So that means that you can extend combos with the system right there, but it only works whoever is actually in advantage of, being like if you're rushing down your opponent right there, you gain guard for it, or you can also gain guard by correctly blocking stuff and attacking throws. So that means that if you are opening up your opponent right there and doing damage right there, you gain guard. But if you also are successfully blocking your opponent right there and attacking stuff right there, you also gain guard too. So that means you can. So this game rewards defense. That's actually the best thing about it. Right? This game rewards you to actually being having good defense on it, because it makes it so that you can survive right then have all the other stuff too. Yeah, so let's see.
It's definitely some cool mechanics because they really reward resource management very well. So you have to think a lot when you rush down, and you have to think a lot when you block and when you spend stuff. So it's definitely a very high Oki game with these types of mechanics, and it's pretty cool to see and to get into the minds of the players, like, oh, where is he gonna spend his shield and stuff like that, you know?
Yes, that is true right there. So let's see. Also, there's a unique mechanic too that they call Force Fasten, which is basically with B and C right there. That is a specific mechanic tied to that character. So that means some characters can basically have ability to freaking have more plus frames than the normals or more active frames than the normals. Some people get. I have to go through each characters, I have to say, but it's basically like a lot of different mechanics right there. There's the veil off mechanic, which is basically basically an alpha counter move right there. It's basically like a not alpha counter move right there. It's basically a sparking ass move right there, where you can use it right there to get your opponent off you right there, but they can also bait it out right there and punish you for it. And also there's concentration right there, which is basically a move that allows you to increase your guard with guard meter, which is basically the move that actually do one with cancel and neutral. And also there's change stuff right there is that if you have a certain amount of chain mover, you can use it to either gain super meter or like EX meter, or allows you to do a Roman cancel to actually continue a combo for it. And then there's also an alpha counter mechanic that allows you to freaking use a guard cancel for it to actually get out of situation, but that requires 100% of your EX gauge meter, right? Which is basically half your gauge right there, because it goes up to 200 or so. and it's actually a pretty freaking interesting mechanic right there. So let's see. Any questions at all about this, guys?
No.
Who's top 5 in Under Night?
Okay, who is top 5 right there? Okay, basically there's one character that's considered probably the best, which is Seth. Seth right there is a character that's similar to Seth in Street Fighter 4. Basically because he has extremely good Oki game where basically he can put you in a extremely freaking hard mix up so that it's very hard to block, but he has like the lowest health in the game right there, and basically has to use a lot of resource management to actually do it. Then there's
so it's pretty much Steph on the night then.
yeah, so similar to that. Then we have Vanessa, which is basically a similar character to like Guile, but she has full screen projectiles like Guile, but she is a extremely highly tactical combo character that it requires precise comboing to actually do it right there. But she can easy zone you out right there. She's one of the hardest characters to get in on it because she has flash kick and everything like that. Then we have let's see, Photon. Photon is basically a character like Dawson, I would say, because she has very long range full screen normals and like that. So because she has a very long whip that's actually take it right there, and she has that because of her neutral. And let's see, other things that I'm hearing good things about right there is Wagner. Wagner is a character that has she has a sword and shield right there, but I don't know exactly what she can do for it right there. I have to make sure for it. Yeah, but she has base. Have to look up more for it right there. And I think the other character that probably is one of the best right there is Accuracy, which is basically like a Soto. It's the game's Soto character that has basically a DP, a Tatsu, a Fireball, and everything like that. It's basically that. I will try to go through each of these characters real quick so I can spin you this, and also I'm probably just gonna link the character pages right there so we can go through it.
Okay.
I'm really surprised that no grappler character is top 5 because when mechanics reward defense so much, I feel like grabs become more powerful. So
there's only one character with that is a real command grab character. Well, there's actually technically two. There's 2 characters with a command grab that are considered grapplers. One is Wallenstein, because he's basically like the Zangief but with combo S things. And there's Mika. Mika is basically like our Mika because she does a lot of stuff that is very risky to do, but because she has to use those risks with that, she's basically like YOLO most of the time because she's a very risky type of character. Like she has to do that risky stuff to get in.
One side looks like my type of character right now, man. I love his design.
He looks cool.
Yeah, Wallenstein's right here. Okay, we can talk about Hyde right here. What's 1 second? I thought okay, there's no what happened to the scroll bar. Okay, well, I don't know why this is not giving me the scroll bar for some reason. I'm trying to. This is not giving me the scroll bar for some reason on it. I can't scroll for some reason on this. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's definitely weird. Okay. Okay. How this? I'm gonna move that. Now I'm gonna do it on a window real quick. How about that? Because I just want to show you this real quick. So window capture. So I'm just trying to show the people on the stream for this real quick. So 1 second.
That's fine.
Does this work? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. And okay. So. Okay, so lock preview right here. Okay, so basically this right here is Hyde right there. Hyde right there is basically probably like one of the main characters in the game right here. Basically, he has sword S normals right here, but basically is not like Verzo right there. Basically, Verzo is a different character in the game right here. Hyde right there is basically a simple S character right there that has long range normals right there. That is. Dang, I'm trying to think because he has a fireball. He has a different thing right there. Says I'm trying to get a good like a character variety for what he gives right there. He has trying to give a good character what this guy's like right now. So I have to think.
He's like the beginning like Canada that you should like use when it's open.
Basically you can say that he's Ryu in the game with it because he's like it's the main star right there. So basically we can say this game is like the guy's Ryu right here.
He's like the balanced Canada that you like use at first, like get used to the game. I feel like.
Yeah, basically he has some long range normals right there, which you can also see right there. He has like some good normals right there, big normals, but basically the other Edinburgh has some very big normals in the game right here. That basically is really interesting, unique right there for it. Yeah, he has some like good range normals right there. Basically, he's a simple S character to learn right there, but he's not the easiest character to learn right there because there's other characters that are easier than him, but he's basically like a character that if you want to learn, basically a good starter character for it. Let's go right in order real quick for all those other stuff right here. Lene is basically like a rust down character. Basically, this is the game's Chun-Li as character. Like sees a young character that has another sword normal right there, big belongers, and sees a pretty easy character to actually learn and play. Sees simple and everything, and sees a mid-tier character, and basically she plays similar to like Hyde in some ways because he has sword normals and everything like that, but she's a more rust down oriented base character. Well, Hyde right there can like use nobles a bit right there to actually try to get poke damage, while like Lene has to rust down a bit. So obviously there's she's also a popular character if you want to know too.
That's pretty interesting.
Okay, Wallenstein right there. Wallenstein right there is basically the big grappler in the game right there. Basically, imagine like Zangief with combo options. That basically he also has very good anti-air options right there, and he also can also use meter to freaking wall carry, corner carry.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, but basically he has slow movements right there, and he has very good range right there. But you can easily zone him out pretty well right there because he's the biggest character in the game right now. So any character with good zoning options right there, but keep him out pretty well. So but also since he has huge fucking normals right there, he can like land a head from half screen right there almost, and basically do a combo on you. So
damn,
definitely that right there. Next we have, let's go down a bit, Carmine. Carmine is a pretty freaking interesting character. Basically he basically uses his blood right there, and basically he uses his own life bar right there to actually help him do damage and everything like that, and set up traps. So this basically I would say that a character that uses his own health right there and also sets up traps. Like that's basically Hyde right there. For Carmine right there. So I constantly help. He needs puddles of blood to dissolve right there, and says the end of the using as his special moves. So basically he can set up traps by using his health bar right there and basically use those traps to basically set up combos right there or set up or use special moves with them. And basically he only can gain his health back by using meter right there or landing a command grab on you, which he also has some really unique things. He's also a fucking coolly designed character. Command is very fucking cool.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool. And it's an interesting mechanic because many people don't see life as a resource in fighting games. They just like take the punish and stuff. But for example, when you play a zoning character or a grappler type of character where you know that sometimes it's better to lose some life to get a better setup or better positioning, it's interesting. So having the character actually use life to do stuff is pretty dope. I think it's a cool concept.
I also love his voice acting and his English voice acting and BB tag is so good, man.
Yeah, definitely very good right there. Okay. Ori right there is basically an interesting character. She is basically a Fusi X character with a persona, or basically a stand right there that in the game, because she can summon. So basically, she's a persona character and Under Night in Birth. That basically she uses her soul right there to actually poke right there. So basically, I would say she could be similar with Fei Long in a way, where basically he can use his basically his Rekka as a poke, and basically use the persona as other stuff in some way right there. Basically, she has a special move that basically is, and also she has to space her special move with it that has to be safe and locked. So basically, her poke special move is, it has to be placed properly. It has to be safe. So basically, she is a unique character. That's because she relies on her repeater to actually do that, but also have ability to actually use a stand to actually do other stuff. She's a pretty cool designed character because of that. First, because she is a poke character and has other stuff too for it.
That's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Definitely do say so right there. Then we have Guru right there, which is basically a character that people fucking hated in BB tag, BB tag, because they made his fucking normal so fucking big. But in this game, I think he's actually he's more of a whiff punish specialist right there. That basically he has normals right there that can he basically likes to whiff punish stuff because how big his normals are there. So basically, he's not like a thing that can fill the screen with stuff right there, and you have to fucking block it and lose half your health. But no, he basically has to be playing very careful with how he does stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a pretty interesting. He's definitely a more better designed character in this game than BB Tag, because basically, because obviously right there he has to he can't freaking just do YOLO stuff with that all the time right there. Dang, I'm just reading. Yeah, I'm just reading his stand C is -26 right now. So there was basically the site was his scythe right there. But obviously, you can keep it safe right there. But obviously, he's not as easy to play because of his normals right there. So yeah, he's basically a more whiff punish type character right there that basically has to be more costly than in other games. Then we have Moldova, which is a very interesting character. Basically, he plays a hidden run type of game right there because he has long range normals right there. He has a full screen, comboable grab that basically is not a command grab right there. Well, it is a command grab, but it's a blockable command grab that basically he uses that to poke you right there and try to do it. But then when it gets in right there, he can summon these little spawn things basically like Cyberman right there in the game, and to basically block down your opponent right there. So basically, he plays a constantly hit and run type of play style, or constantly poke play style until he actually gets the hit, and then he has pretty good Oki options afterwards. He is also
Those types
a
of characters.
he also is
Oh,
part of
what's
the he's also probably one of the best designed characters in fucking like Under Knife and Birth, in my opinion.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, because
It
Mhm.
was pretty badass,
Yeah.
and definitely that style of gameplay is super good because when you start getting in people's heads with like hit and run, and then you suddenly hit them with the crazy Oki setups, like it messes with people, and if you're that type of like really conditioning type of player, this is definitely the character to play.
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely has some big freaking big normals right there, and also some unique stuff right there. Basically, I say that he has like he's Mr. Probably Painwheel from Skullgirls, because he can fly too. That's and set up stuff. So basically, he plays like Sentinel in a way right there, because he has the fly option right there, and it has like ability to put down traps and set up Oki from that. So I would say that he's a better Sentinel with freaking trap options right there, because he's a very I say that he's a very a unique Sentinel in this game, like that actually has unique things for it.
Definitely.
Okay, Vatatisa. Vatatisa right there is basically a very high execution character that basically is a charge character, but she is known having the hardest execution in the game, or considered one of the hardest executions in the game, because her combo right there involves basically charge partitioning right there, and also basically like having a very strict timing thing. Basically, she's a very hard character to use, but she is probably considered one of the best characters in the game, just because she's a zoner character with some very good tactics. So basically, she's probably a guile in this game that has full screen projectiles.
Wow.
Basically, a high execution guy. How about that? High execution guy with more freaking unique tools.
That's crazy, dude. Like that sounds super annoying to deal with.
Yeah, she is basically very hard to fucking get in on, and she also has a flash kick that's move too. So basically, it's other stuff like that. So she's very freaking annoying to actually deal with, everything like that.
I can only like imagine that, like playing that in like how high level play, how annoying that sounds.
Yeah, definitely that.
Imagine someone like Chris G or Dominion actually playing that character. That's crazy.
So, yeah. Yep. Okay, next we have Seth. Seth right there is like I said earlier, right there is basically the Seth of Street Fighter 4. of this game. Basically, he has very low health right there. That basically he has a very good ulti options right there that makes you like get put into bad situations after getting blocking the combo. So basically, he just puts you in the metro right there, and you have to try to block all this stuff right there. But he has low health, and basically so that means he dies quickly. He has the lowest health in the game at 9,500 health right there, and basically the highest one has like 1,100 health or something like that. 11,000 health. Basically, he is a speedy gas cannon right there. Basically, I would say that he might be a freaking a more like I would say that he has a mix of Seth with being a last gas cannon right there, and basically like a couple similar tools to maybe Alfrete maybe. That's what I'm thinking right there. So he's definitely a very freaking scary character in the right hands. I think you can actually do that.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Yuzihara. Yuzihara right there is basically, I would say, the Verzo of this game, but basically Verzo with more freaking that needs execution for it. He's not like, I say Verzo right there because he has a very fucking long sword. Basically, she is a very like heavy character that basically allows you to counter poke with it with everything. That also has a stance. That also has a teleport for it. But C has a very hard way to combo stuff with it that you need to know, like how to keep track of your stances right there. That because you get 4 different stances for each thing, so you have to keep track of everything. And also because of our like you strict combo thing, C is a very high execution character because of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so C is a very hard execution character, but C can basically punish C can basically help rush down keyboard characters because of a teleport right there, and also with a lot of hit bosses. So C is a pretty interesting character because of that. So I definitely say that C is a very unique character, but probably a very hard character to actually properly use.
Nice.
Okay, then let's see. Next is Hilta right there. Basically, Hilta is probably let's see. C is a zoner character, definitely, and C plays basically similar to. I'm trying to think right there. I would say a mixture probably Dormammu with her no not Dormammu right there. I'm trying to figure out a good character. She basically has I know a character. It's the mummy from Vampire Savior right there. He plays similar to that character from Vampire Savior, where she has Karis, because she has projectiles that she has normals that appear under you right there, or normals right there, and basically has set projectile normals right there. So basically her normals are not attached to her right there. They're apart from her. So as you can tell, see this right here is her standing C right there. I'm just gonna hot link this picture right here. So I'm just gonna hot link the picture so you can actually see what I'm talking about. That's her standing C right there.
Wow.
So basically,
that's pretty busted.
But I'm just trying to give you examples that her normals right there are not attached to her. So basically, she has to properly space out right there and use the proper normals for it. So she has to be very careful for it. But also because of her being a keyboard character and how her normals is right there, she's a nightmare to get in on it if you don't know how to properly deal with her.
That sounds like a F champ type of character.
I would definitely say this is
the right moment.
I would say definitely an F champ type of character, because I know that freaking Arturo Sanchez right there fucking plays her. Arturo plays her.
I can see that too, man.
No, Arturo does play her. Doesn't you know?
Oh.
Yeah, so and definitely I know that. So basically, he is a very keep-away-esque character that has to use spacing and everything like that. But she's a very freaking hard character to actually not a hard character, but a hard character to deal with. Sorry, if they actually do know about that. For one or no,
Is she like one of the top 5s in the game, or is she?
No, she's not one of the top 5s right there. That's because of various things. I have to look up the tier list for it right there for this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, next we're gonna have Etium, which is basically a character that has a normal similar to Photon, which is basically a whip normal, but then she has a bullet mechanic similar to Chris in this game. But she has basically it's like Chris and Whole Horse. If you ever played the JoJo's fighting game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, basically she has a whip normal, Photon, then she has bullets with Chris, and then Whole Horse from the JoJo fighting game.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically she has this little right there, and also she's actually a guest character in this game. She actually comes from Multi-Blood, just so you know.
Wow.
She's the only guest character in this game right now. So basically, she is a pretty unique pretty interesting character. But she's also probably one of the best characters that actually can teach you how to actually play Alternate in Birth, because she uses the mechanic right there, and basically she will help you teach the mechanics for right there. She has the bullet that she has like 12 bullets right there that you can use bullets for the combos, but then you have to reload your ammo to it to actually use that gun again right there. So if you use all your bullets right there, you have to reload your gun. So she has some really unique things to her about that. So definitely, it's actually pretty unique with that. See, look, this is what I'm talking about with her bullet path right here. So this is what I'm talking about with her being like a whole horse right there. This is her projectile path right there when she uses her quarter-circle forward light, and this is her projectile path when she uses her quarter-circle forward medium version of it.
Oh.
That's pretty dope.
That's kind of interesting. It's just it's a line. It's like go up and down.
No. It shows that's the bullet path right there. Because unless you want to see freaking like a bunch of screenshots of like where the bullet goes right there, this is the easiest way to see it.
Huh. That's interesting.
That sounds super annoying to fight.
She's not like someone, but not like the other like characters in a way right there. She has some unique things for it right there, but she basically uses right there the zone for a bit, but it's also combo capabilities to it. So yes,
that makes sense.
So
like
yes,
having a knockdown and shooting a bullet and then have it cover an option. That sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, it definitely is right there. Definitely did. I think she's actually a pretty decent character, but I don't know where she's at until let's have to look it up. Okay, next we have Chaos. Chaos is a unique character right there. He's basically a character that controls a dinosaur. He summons a dinosaur right there and uses that dinosaur for fly streams right there. See, he's a pretty basic character for one of the people to use. Basically, he summons a dragon right there and uses that dragon for fly streams right there for it. So I will show you that he actually uses a dragon right there for it. So I have to find the special moves right there. Look at the dragon right there.
That looks sick.
Yeah. So basically, he uses this dragon right there to actually set up two combos right there, or set up Loki afterwards. Which is actually
like an Android 18 type of character. Where
yeah, you could say that right there. Yeah, you can definitely say that right there. It's definitely a pretty freaking awesome thing like that actually do like that, and I think he's actually a pretty cool design character too. I had to actually try him out more right there, but he had to obviously use his thing right there, and obviously he has probably a low floor right there, but probably a high skill setting because of his dragon aspect that some of them right there, so you can actually probably use them right there if you want to know.
That's a pretty cool concept.
It definitely is right there. So, okay, next character is Akizuki. This character actually won EVO in 2018 right here. This is Squigglies right there. If you want to know who he is, right there, that's his character. He's basically a solo-ass character that has basically a fireball, Tatsu right there, DP and everything like that. And basically he is known to actually have a pretty good thing. Well, right there, he has a lot of good things right there. He's also known for his B Tashu right there, because it's like a meme for his B Tashu because how good it is.
Wow.
He's definitely pretty good. He has, I say that he has he's basically a solo character with a couple of probably Piccolo's X moves where, if you ever see Piccolo's freaking close up before medium right there, he has basically that, with the, and basically other things like that. So he has, So I pretty freaking pretty good things right there for it. He has pretty good damage output right there, and pretty good. He's another easy character to actually probably learn right there for it. So if you want to learn an easy character, he's a good choice right there because he's a solo character.
That looks like a good starting character, right? Like he has solid tools and you just learn to play solid, but I feel like in this type of game you have to be a really good player to triumph with these types of characters, right?
Says could be right there, but I don't know. I can't give you a straight answer because since I don't know how good how I can't explain high level freaking in birth that much because I'm not a high level player and don't know a ton about the game by myself. I'm trying to give you the basic stuff that I know of, so I can't say that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if I want to know, he's supposed to be a basic character right there. Then we have Nanase, which is basically another solo character that has. She's basically another solo character that basically has zoning aspects right there, and I'm trying to think of another character that explains her decently well. She has very long hitboxes, everything like that. I could say that she's more like Chun-Li in a way right there. I'd say that she's more like Chun-Li in a way, but she's not a charged character and everything like that, and she doesn't have that. I'm trying to give her a good. I can't say what she's most likely like at the moment, but she is not solo character that has unique cancels like that. She has a air fireball that allows you to get it locked down at full screen right there, so she can get in on you and everything like that. So there's actually some pretty good designs for it.
That sounds like kind of like Morrigan in the Vampire Savior games.
Could be right there. It could be more. She could be more like Morgan right there, but she's not like in Vampire Savior Morgan. I would say yes. Marvel Morgan no, because Marvel Morgan right there is obviously a more zoning-esque character with rush sound capabilities. She is.
Yeah.
I would say he's probably more like that. Okay. Okay. Next character is Bakura. Bakura right there is basically, I would say, very similar to Bedman, but he has an option that is similar to basically various trap characters that basically trap you right there and basically put you in a 50-50 situation right there. That so basically he puts you in a trap right there, and then you have to guess like high or low right there for it. They actually so basically he has the ability to basically make you guess on what gets unblocked right there by putting you in a V-stand situation right there. That's basically what he does right there. And also he has set traps right there that basically make it so that you can't go in a certain spot right there. You have to stay in that spot and you have to block stuff. That's basically what Bakura is.
That's a cool design.
Definitely cool design right there, but people like, but then you actually hear him right there saying, "Oh fuck, his voice sounds terrible." Yeah, so that's basically his design right there. He has very big normals right there for it right there, and he is basically an Oki scene right there because of that. And then obviously Photon right there. Photon we talked about a bit right there. She is basically a very long range footsie character that has very long range normals that basically so that she is a mid range or full screen type of player right there that you have to use the normals right there to actually get in, and easy those normals that actually poke you from full screen and get you from combos.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, see, she is definitely one of the best characters in the game because of her basic range right there and forward, and she's also a pretty easy character to actually play right there. If you want to know, and also a lot of high level players are playing too. I know Punk right there is playing it, like has played her for a while. I know Flo is playing her right now. And like I know like and she's a very good character right there, so you probably see a lot of freaking photons most likely.
That makes sense.
Next we have Mika. Mika is basically a character probably like our Mika, which I did explain earlier right there, that basically she takes risks to get in right there, because she has no projectile right there. She also has no verbal traits, like this is basically a special kill with it. She's the only kill on that does not have any. She has she relies on a lot of risk right there to try to get in on you. That basically she uses a lot of freaking YOLO tactics to actually try to do you right there. She has a command gun that reaches super far, but it's tackable, being like you can tack it. So, but you have to be ready for it. She has a she can basically combo. She can like cancel her like normals into that command gun too, so you have to be ready for that. She has a Mika basically how to say. I would say that she has like normal super right there, whereas he has speed tackle, but it's a regular move that she can control where she goes and everything like that. And then she has a command gun that she can combo out of right there, and also she's not an annoying character right there. She is a hard to deal with character because she has to take risks right there, so you can't predict what she's going to do most of the time.
That sounds like my type of character. Like, just get one read and start steamrolling, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong.
Yeah. Basically, she's actually the character I'm playing right now because one thing, she has I like her design right there, and also played her at BB Tag when I was playing more constantly. I'm probably still probably gonna be playing more BB Tag when the patch drops with the new gameplay changes to try it out. But I want to try out more Mika stuff later on. She is a unique character because of that too. So, and then we have Wagner. Wagner is a very interesting character, and she's also known for being not the most hated character, but the most people with whoever played in birth is just disgusted with Wagner because she just does stuff like that people why would you pick this character because of unique things. I don't know what it's about right there, but people don't like Wagner for some reasons. But we're definitely Sonic Fox has picked this character up. So basically, so that means we're going to see an influx of Wagner players most likely. So I definitely say that she's going to be a thing. I don't know what makes her freaking broken. What people make her hate her for some reason, because I don't know. But when I actually probably play this game more right there, I will probably figure out why people hate her.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Then the last character we have is Enkidu, which is basically Street Fighter and Under Night in Birth. He is considered probably the worst character in the game, and also one of the characters that will destroy you if you're not used to him. Basically, he is basically Street Fighter right there. He basically plays with footsies right there, all day right there, and he counterpunts right there and everything like that. So he plays basically Hiyashi in some way right there, and basically he basically plays a Hiyashi for one or no. That basically, if you ever play my child Hiyashi and other games right there, I think he has a similar play style to that.
I see.
Yeah, but
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, basically, that's what I know. He's considered the weakest character in the game because he has a lot of flaws in Vulnerno. Yeah, because he's not supposed to be in this type of game, Vulnerno. But but basically he can fucking he can hit like a truck, Vulnerno. Yeah.
He's those types of characters that throw you off and
make
you change your
game style.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, here's his character trait. Whenever Ekiro counter hits an opponent, punishes the whiff, they enter a special trait called Havoc, limiting the amount of time they spend in hit stun, allowing some bizarre combos. Note the S to Havoc can still cannot kill, since it technically counts as a dot such points as damage. So basically, if you whiff bouncing against something, you freaking just take more damage now and do a longer combo because of it. So
that's pretty dope.
yeah, basically all these characters actually have unique skills and everything for this thing, for that. I definitely say that it's really freaking unique for it. I definitely say that this game right there is definitely unique because of all the different types of characters you actually can use with right here. Okay, what characters interest you the most, Wolf, in your opinion?
Definitely Mika, because the description of her playstyle sounds exactly like what I like doing. Like, start conditioning and going for mix-ups that put the opponent in a pressure situation, because I feel like I'm a player that benefits a lot of reads, and I'm decent at doing them. So when I start getting momentum, I feel like I'm strong, and it definitely seems like the type of character that I like playing. And also Crimson actually, no, Carmine is the name, right? Carmine.
I was like, who?
Yeah,
Are you talking about King Crimson for some reason?
Yeah, no, Carmine.
No,
because
it was a JoJo
I
joke.
like the mechanic of the of the health aspect, and it's a really cool design.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a good thing to know right there. Carmine used to be Sonafox's main character before the new version of the game came out. That's what you know.
Oh, that's cool. That makes sense. He's probably a good character then.
Yeah, definitely is actually pretty interesting. Ooh, definitely. So 1 second. I'm just gonna get rid of this real quick. I'm just going to move Chrome from that. Yes, okay. Okay, so guys, I see some pretty interesting things about it right now. So what type of things do you think are like awesome about the game? For what you know?
I definitely feel like the character variety and the different mechanics that every character has. I feel like it's pretty cool, because I feel like what I was saying before, that sometimes fighting games are less complex and it makes them boring. I feel like this game, you can really take the character that fits your style and have your own particular style, like play how you want. And I feel like that's really important in a fighting game, because in certain games you can tell like, oh, like that's Chris G's Dr. Doom, or like that's Ray's Magneto, like, and you don't even see the player cameras, right? And in other games you see like, oh, that's a Guile, or oh, that's a Laura player, but you can't really tell who's playing. And I feel like this game has a lot of personality and a lot of variety, so you can definitely see like each player's and each character's different like quirks and stuff, and I find that very enjoyable, because it becomes complex both to fight and to learn and to do, and I find it pretty cool.
Okay. So I definitely found a tier list right there of a hopefully pretty recent right there. Like I think it was like 5 months ago they posted it, so I'm gonna quickly link it real quick. So people can actually see it right there. This is Sasuke's tier list right there, that basically I definitely probably do agree with right there most of the time right there. That the only thing is that I don't know if hide is supposed to be that high. Oh yeah, I forgot. I should actually link it to you too. Okay, so basically this is the current tier list right now. Want to know that might have a little bit of differences for it. I know basically the top I know these top 4 characters beside Hyde right there are basically considered top tier, and the only other thing like that could be considered top tier, I think like that was maybe Bakura. I'm not 100% sure, but I basically know that these are the characters that are top tier in the game right there, which is Seth, Bolton, Vanessa, Wagner, Hyde, Ori, Kazuha, Bakura, Antom, Chaos, Wallenstein, Lin, Godo, Nanase, Minerva, Carmine, Azura, Mika, Hailed, and Enzu, if I said those names correctly. But those that's supposed to be the highest tier of my tournament list right there. And basically like the bottom 5 right there is supposed to be like not tournament viable if I want to hear, but I know that Squiggly right there, like who had like I can see right there, obviously one freaking EVO with him, so that's probably the tier list might be a little bit out of date right there.
And even then, the tier list says viable. So if every character is viable, that's pretty cool. Because some games, the lowest tier character, like say Iron Man in Marvel 3, is like you're never gonna win a tournament with that character, you know. But if the gap isn't that long, it says a lot about the game's balance and personality, right?
Mm-hmm. That is definitely true. Okay, there's another list right there I want to show you right there, which is basically the which is a list right there that shows the. Okay, here it is right here. This is the list of how easy each character to play is right there, and now basically it's showing you how easy the character to play is right there, but and then how hard the characters to play is right there. So what is this list right here?
Okay, let me check it out.
Okay, this right here is basically this game will teach you how to play that, which is basically Linde is probably going to be the easiest character to learn right there, and also it will help you to play in birth. Well, as you can tell, it's more difficult right there, but not so right there, and basically all 3 of these characters on the bottom right there are very hard characters to actually learn properly, as you can tell.
That makes sense.
So yeah, as you can tell right there, obviously Lin right there, Enzu, Wagner, Akazi, Ori, and then Miko right there are the easy and also will help you play Uni better, while Chaos, Photon, Minerva, Wallenstein, Natase, Goru, and then Bakura is it's more difficult to learn with the characters with that. Then obviously we have high execution characters that will help you learn how to play the game better, which is Hyde and Anthem, and then obviously the hard characters to learn, which is basically Vanessa, Izihara, Seth, Carmine, and then Hilda. This was very hard to actually use these characters. So basically saying that if you want to start learning the game, do not use these characters at all. And basically, if you want to learn the game, pick the characters up here right there. These will help you play the game a lot better.
That's good info to have and to learn the game.
Yes, definitely. What's this? Oh yeah, hey, I'm just wondering one thing real quick. Do you have this game at all?
I don't, but a friend has it, and I've played it casually. So definitely hearing more about the competitive side of it is pretty cool. So I can start getting into it, because the thing about my scene is that anime games are not really as played or as popular.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 very popular games, so it's hard to get games in with games like UNIST and stuff like that. So I hope EVO changes that.
Yeah, hopefully EVO will change that right there. Oh yeah, because I just want to know after the stream, you want to have you heard of Parsec at all? Do you remember Parsec I told you about? Unless if you want, we can. If you download Parsec, I can basically let you try out more freaking in birth, because I have it for the PC. So if you want to mess around with it with me, and I can try to show you some more stuff with that if you can, tonight if you want.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's basically you just download it later on, and basically we can set it up and right there we can play it out.
Let's do it.
Yep. Okay, so right now Diego is not back yet. So what we're probably going to do next, instead of going right to the MVC4 rumors, we're going to skip that for now and wait for him to come back. Because obviously he's going to be, because he wants to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Tekken 7 new DLC characters and also the BB Tag new characters too. And also, if we have time, we will try to go over the patch notes, but I think the patch notes have been out for too long with this, so there's no point. I say no, we did talk about the patch notes. We're not going to worry about the patch notes. We talked about the patch notes like yeah. Basically, 2 new DLC characters for the Tekken 7 right there, Julia and Negan. Basically, Julia is a past character that's been in the Tekken series for a long while, and basically it was surprising that she wasn't the main roster character for it. Then finally she got released, she got revealed back at EVO 2018, and it was probably the hypest, one of the hypest things ever. And no, she didn't get revealed at EVO 2018. She got I'm trying to think. No, she didn't get revealed at 2000. I'm trying to remember what. No, she did get revealed, right? You know, when did she get revealed?
It was during EVO, right? Or a little bit before?
I remember. I wasn't sure if she got revealed during that or during the Tekken World Finals.
It was one of those two because I remember a lot of hype because of the selfies and all that stuff. All the memes around the character.
Oh wait, no, and, she got revealed at the World Finals right there because people were thinking, the main developer behind it, you know who right there, because people Harada. Yeah, because people were thinking Harada for freaking bringing Julia back, and they freaking was hugging him for that too. Okay. Yeah, so Julia was a fan favorite character that actually was really wanted back, and then Negan is a character that basically was suggested back on Twitter back when Harada was trying to figure out guest characters for the game, and someone suggested Negan as a playable character, and they got Negan as a playable character, and Negan is basically probably the baddest the most awesome characters from that. He's just a badass character from what I've seen about him right there. Because Lucille gave me strength. Yes, there's some memes freaking with that thing right now that makes him so freaking awesome. I see freaking I'll watch and check out.
And I've seen his gameplay, and he seems like the type of character that can do a lot of things in every situation. Like he's pretty busted, and he has interesting style.
It definitely has interesting style right there. But he has some really fucking unique mechanics right there. Says I actually can't believe that. I can't believe that he also has a freaking a move that allows him just to have fucking super armor that allows him not to get hit for doing anything like that, and allows him to fucking beat the ass afterwards.
Yeah, it's so dope, dude. I feel like he just forces you to play very scared. I feel like it's a good representation of how he is in The Walking Dead, you know?
Yeah, definitely good representation. Like that, people he is probably a very good representation in the game of the Tekken right there. I wish I actually had Tekken right there to actually try him out, but I don't own Tekken, and I don't have money to buy it at the moment.
I feel you.
Yep. So
But he has like cool stuff, like some of his attack auto parry lows on the first frame, so he just forces you to play so scared.
Yes, because if you don't right there, you get to he is going to let the shield do a few. Yes. So yeah, Julia right there is actually a pretty interesting character. I do like that there's a new a new approach of how she's actually designed in the game, or how she is now, whereas she's now a streamer now instead of being an activist, I believe, like a ninja activist that allows her to ask. So she's now freaking part of the streaming scene and everything like that. And
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I definitely do see that. I haven't seen much of Julia at all because I haven't really paid attention to Julia. I paid a lot more freaking watch for Negan. Negan obviously is like a lot cool design because I'm not I don't know Julia that much at all, but I know like Negan a lot more because he's a lot more popular, well-known character. So I don't know much about Julia at all.
Julia is like a very fast rushdown type of character, and Negan is more like a hit you very hard with counters and priority type of character. So Julia is kind of like very aggressive, very fast. Kind of like maybe it's a bad comparison because I'm not much of a Tekken player, but she kind of reminds me of Yun in Street Fighter.
Okay. Interesting. Actually, you know what? I actually saw a freaking thing of her actually being dressed as Yun. So yeah, actually, like probably people have compared her to Yun most likely.
Yeah, she has like that type of play style.
Definitely good. What's this? Let's see. Let's talk about Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle now with the characters in the game, which is, let me scroll it. Basically, there are 4 confirmed new characters for the game that are going to be in the game. There is this Seth from Under Night in Birth, Teddy from Persona 4 Arena, Hart from Arcana Hearts, and Nato from Blaze Blue, which basically we all talk about Seth right there. Seth right there, for what people have been saying right now, that Seth is going to be a very hard character to deal with because in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle there's no cross-up protection in the game. Well, in Under Night in Birth there is cross-up protection in the game, which basically means that you cannot get hit until your character is fully turned around if you're getting hit by a cross-up. Meaning, like, if with auto cross-up, that means that you will get blocked automatically if you're in a blocking situation right there, and if your character is not turned around when you get hit. So basically, if you're not facing towards the character, you won't get hit by a cross-up right there because cross-up protection will protect you at that unless you block the wrong direction.
Wow, that's gonna be pretty broken.
Yeah, Seth right there. People think that Seth is gonna be pretty fucking hard to block because of that now. Teddy, people are like saying that Teddy is not going to be as good now because I've been seeing things that Teddy now has his bell projectile right there as a icon right there, so he cannot probably like fold out willy-nilly right there, so he might be on a cooldown or something like that before he does it. I don't know how Teddy is in the game, like, so, like how he plays with it, but I know Teddy was a really fucking hated character in Persona 4. That's all I know. And I know he was really good and really fucking hated.
Yeah, Teddy was annoying to fight because he had so much like setups. So it's good to see that's type. I don't know if it's a nerf, but that adaptation to how he's gonna work.
Well, we also have not seen actual gameplay of him with Wooly right there, or we don't know how bad that thing is actually going to be right there. We will actually find out soon enough if that thing is going to be bad or not. Then we have Hearts from Akina Hearts. I have not played any Akina Hearts at all, so I don't know anything about Akina Hearts. So
I don't know either, but as like from what I know, it's a very like fast rush down type of game. So that's probably the play style that it's gonna have, right?
maybe. It's, obviously, we don't know what she can do because we don't know much about her, so we're sorry about that. But we never really tried out Akina Hearts at all. Naruto right there is a character from Blaze Blue right there that, for one to know, has a very, very high execution thing that he has to do dash cancels constantly that has to do to do high damage combos in it. And he, for one to know, in that game is a very highly execution based character because of that. Because he has to do micro dashes constantly. That has to do has this combos link and everything. But since this game is more simplified right there, it should not be that hard for him because it's supposed to be a lot easier for people to actually pick up. So hopefully he's not insanely freaking hard to actually use.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So
Since BB Tag is more simplified, I think. It should be a more light version.
Definitely should be a more light version right there. So yeah, that's basically all the things that we thought about right now. It says I don't have really much thought because obviously I don't play Tekken 7 that much, and I only played Misu Target right there, and I have to explore more for it. So hopefully we can talk more about it right there in the future when more stuff gets revealed for it. Because I know that Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle is supposed to get a arcade release right there, and these 4 DLC characters are going to be released in the arcades first right there before they come to consoles right now, which it's going to be sad because that means Japan is going to have access to the characters probably months before us, most likely, or at least a month, depending on when the patch is going to happen right there. Which we might get some news for Final Round this month right there, because obviously Final Round is going to be the biggest news for it. And also, other things that we should know right there, that obviously they're probably going to be announcing a new character at Final Round for Street Fighter 5, because Final Round is probably the huge first big tournament of the year right there for the EVO season. So it's going to be definitely a tournament that we will have probably some good reviews most likely for some games. So
yeah, I was there at Final Round when they revealed the Capre. So they've definitely done reveals at Final Round. So it's something we should be expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. So do you have anything else to talk about before we go into the Marvel vs. Capcom 4 rumor at all?
Well, I definitely want to see what other characters they're gonna reveal for BB Tag, because you know the design for the logo has a square for each game represented, right? So there's this theory that there's 3 more games that they haven't represented yet, so it makes a full square. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's true, because they did freaking tease that there's going to be a new freaking fate coming to the game too, because obviously the 5th one was actually Akina Hearts, and they teased a 6th one too during that also. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to what they come up with.
Same here. Definitely am looking forward to what they come up with too. Let's see. Other stuff right there. Obviously, Johnny Johnny Cage right there got revealed right there for right there. There was a Mortal Kombat leak that got leaked too, which I'm not going to bother talking about that right there because that is something that basically people are probably not going to get spoiled on, so I'm not going to try to talk about that at all. Because basically it's sad from what happens right there because, you know, people like hate leaks right there and people want to actually be surprised about the game right there. So obviously I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's not cool when people leak stuff that could be really hype.
Other stuff too. If you don't know who Vesper Arcade is right there, his Twitter, his Twitch account got hacked. That is extremely fucked up right there. It got hacked right there. And the streamer freaking posted racist comments right there, and he actually got control of his Twitch account right there and posted like freaking messed up porn on it right there, trying to get him banned for it right there. We don't know what he can do. That's because Vesper Arcade is actually a very good prominent fighting game community streamer and also has very good content too right there, and that sucks that he got hacked right there on his Twitch account.
Yeah, that's such a shame, especially because he's produced so much good content for the community, and because we were talking a little bit about it beforehand. Streaming is a grind and it's a hustle, and for someone to hack you and ruin everything you've worked for, it must be a really tough time for him.
Yeah, it definitely does suck right there. Definitely does suck. Can't. Says there's only things you can do right there, which is basically just report it right there, and hopefully Twitch does something about it right there. But Twitch likes to freaking help out for some of the top streamers right there, and turn a blind eye to other ones right there, and then basically have like a lot of freaking mess up things that they prioritize. Some people are not prioritize other people at all.
Yeah, hopefully Twitch helps him out because it's not a cool situation.
Definitely not a good thing right there. Other things to actually make sure of. There's actually 2 more infinites that got discovered in Marvel's Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. One is a infinite on basically big body characters like Nemesis with Doctor Strange, that basically you can do an infinite combo for it by I believe it's testing an air series right there and having Nemesis popped up at a certain height, then do I Automata or do Palm, then I am Automata, and keeping doing that over right there, and that's an infinite right there, which was recently discovered by I think Finisher of War. And then another one that got discovered recently was a Dormammu infinite on small body characters, which was on Amarashi, which is basically you have to a property space is flame carpet right there, starts a couple of spells, use the spells, flame carpet again, and keep repeating that over and over, I believe.
Yeah, I saw those and they look pretty cool. I like it, and the thing I like about Marvel 3 is that it always kind of balances itself out, and you can only do it on certain characters, so it's like it. Kind of like the Doctor Doom one that also got recently discovered with the molecular shield. So yeah, it's cool to see that even after almost 8 years now, people have been playing and finding new tech for the game. It just speaks volumes about how when a game is complex and it's well made, people will find stuff for it.
Definitely still find stuff for it. Definitely finding some cool stuff for it. Okay, I think that's all the news that we know about right now. So let's talk about Marvel's Capcom 4. Basically, it's new rumors that basically popped up about recently from a prominent Marvel player, which is basically F-Champ. AppChap has been tweeting out various big tweets stating like various like stuff that is not trying to hit on stuff right there, but obviously not trying to reveal much of that. So let me bring up his Twitter real quick. And 1 second. And not that thing. There's AppChap's Twitter right here. Okay, AppChap's Twitter is up.
Right.
Okay, so basically, okay, let's go down to the tweets that he made real quick. It's a couple of days back. So let's see. Let's see where he put him at real quick.
All right.
Okay, here we go, right there. And this right here is the main one right here, which is this tweet right here. Like winky smiley face right here. So basically, obviously, right there, he is either hitting at that stuff right there, or he just really he's thinking about the number 4 for some reason. Or he is trying to bring up discussion for Marvel 4 right there. Then let's see. There's Marvel search right there. Let's see. Where is it right there? Let's do tweets and replies real quick.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find all this thing right here.
I think it's interesting to see Champ tweet this, because I think everyone really wants a new Marvel game and really needs it. I feel like Marvel is the game that unites the FGC and just like raw, unadulterated hype. So I definitely feel like a new Marvel is necessary, because Infinite left everyone with it's not a bad game, but it definitely left the world with like a sour taste. And I hope that if they do release a new Marvel, it's gonna be cool. But it could also just really be Champ having some PTSD and of the death of Marvel Infinite and just trolling us. So who knows what could happen, you know? It's definitely quite interesting. But okay. I hope it is a new Marvel.
Okay. Okay, here we go. There, here's other things right here that. Okay, some of these tweets right there are pretty old. Right here, there's one that he posted back in December. He posted one back in December. The other one he posted like on the 27th right there. So it's definitely pretty interesting there. That's when, you know, it's rumored that he was able to play. It was rumored that he was one of the people that leaked that Venom was going to be in Marvel's Capcom Infinite, because there was a picture of Venom actually being in the game, but the picture right there had the same type of curtains that where AppChap was currently living at right there, and the curtains match right there. So people speculated that AppChap was playing like a pre-release version of it right there, and basically a picture got tweeted out right there from his place or something like that. And people projected that he was the one that leaked the picture right there, or one person that helped leak the picture out. We don't know who he is, so basically he does have ties to basically Capcom, and if Capcom is making Marvel vs. Capcom 4, basically he can be trusted a tiny bit, but obviously we can't trust him enough because it is rumors and everything like that.
Well, yeah, like I don't know about if that was confirmed or not, but
That's
definitely as a top player, it would make sense for him to be invited and test a game, you know, like kind of how the NetherRealm Studios crew has invited other top players. Like I don't discard Marvel actually, Capcom and Marvel too, inviting some of the Marvel top players to test out the game, especially a player as technical and as knowledgeable as Champ.
Definitely I do trust Champ a bit right there, because you know he loves Marvel like no tomorrow, and I know that if Marvel was, you know, a mainstay game like that a lot of people have been playing at that day, he would have still been at it right there. But I don't know why he has dropped off the face of the fighting game community right now. I only see him play Fortnite or Apex Legends on his house stream sometimes, and that's really it. So so he might be just busy in his real life right there, or he just wants to stay on the down low for now.
Who knows? Yeah. But let's hope that it turns into Marvel 4, because dude, I really feel like the FGC is at a point right now where it needs something that lifts up the hype, you know? Like I feel everybody right now is kind of like playing to play, and there's no salt factor that Marvel gave us, and I really feel like if that game came out, it would be pretty dope stuff.
Yeah, definitely that right there. So let's talk about what they might now know for the game right now, because obviously there with the Marvel rumors right there, there's also other things that they probably should know now why the game probably failed. That we probably should take a look at them right now, that they should focus on fixing. One is the bad graphics. The graphics that there obviously don't look the best right there. It looks like a early Xbox 360 launch title of how the game actually looked, you know, because the game obviously was not finished optimizing the graphics wise. The roster was not the best, definitely right there. It had some interesting picks right there and everything like that, but basically it had like no well-known popular characters that basically the series is known for right there, and that basically turned off a lot of the casual crowd, because they're wondering why the hell there's no X-Men characters in it right there and stuff like that, or mainstay characters. Basically, and then obviously the bad freaking the bad demo player. The bad demo player was freaking bad, because you know, like there's like no way to actually try to up besides against these bots that basically do fucking nothing against you, and it was hard. It was it basically was very fucking messed up how you actually were. Want to try out the game right there, but you only get to try out a crappy story mode that basically had no option to let you actually mess around and try it out and see if you actually would like it or not. And like there's like other things too with it that basically like having having multiple freaking Marvel characters but not having the same amount right there on the other side, that is basically a very big turnoff for people that wanted wanted a big cast right there, but then we only had 30 characters in it.
Yeah, and also I feel like another thing that really actually put the nail in the coffin for Marvel Infinite was, on top of all those things, they did not do a proper balance test before they released the game, and Reality Stone was so good that it nullified like half of the cast, you know. It was just so abusive that the game became boring to watch in the first week or so, because everybody was just throwing Reality Stone left and right, you know?
And don't forget about how broken Dante was. Don't forget about how broken Dante and Dormammu was.
And zero.
That's but
I feel that after the patch, it actually became a really good, fun game to play. But everybody saw the pre-patch. They didn't see after the patch. So that's basically what happened, and it ended up hurting the game a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, that's actually a good sign right there. That was a good reason why probably the game died right there. Because if you didn't know it, a lot of the casual players right there hate spam right there because they're not used to like dealing with spam and how to get over it right there. And basically, they don't want to try to get better at the game. And basically, if there was something abusable like that in like Dragon Ball Fighters, most of the cast would not freaking play the game. But because how like Dragon Ball Fighters is there, where basically you can just beat the spam with a super dash to make it so that you don't have to deal with that stuff right there. That's why that game freaking survived, because it had that mechanic that people were okay, like had a way to easily freaking get around it. Well, like it took months for basically that game to actually do it right there. But also, Dragon Ball Fighters was a lot easier to get into than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was a lot harder to actually get into it than more casual games. That's actually probably another downside for it right there. It basically is not that game right there is not a casual friendly game. That you basically need to actually have some type of skill at games to actually do decently in it right there, or you're not going to win. So that's another reason why basically Infinite like basically failed too, in my perception, at the casual gamer experience like that, because they tried their various ways with that, but because how the game designed right there, it's basically like very hard to get into as a casual player right there, unless you want to actually really learn how to play fighting games.
And even as a non-casual player, there's definitely, like, at least the first patch, it really turned off a lot of players because of the way it worked. For example, I, as a Hagar player, you either had to play Hagar Dante or something, because with Reality Stone, you couldn't really get in against pretty much any other character, you know? So Reality Stone made entire characters useless, in my opinion. And it was so busted to the point that why play the characters you like or that you enjoy when the top tiers are so much better, right? And we could see, because, for example, Cloud won the Battle of the Stones with arguably the two strongest character pre-patch and the strongest, one of the strongest stones. But yeah, I feel like that really took away from the many players stepped down, like during the first month, and many other players didn't enjoy it. And yeah, I feel like it was some bad choices that could have been less bad with more time and more testing, but sadly that's how it went. So now that they know this, I hope that they change it.
Yeah, hopefully they change it too. Hopefully they didn't. They changed it there. Hopefully they know what they should not do again, because basically all those bad problems right there basically made it do. Obviously, right there, the gameplay itself right there, and the unique combo system right there, and the netcode is completely fucking good. Those were great. Right, the netcode is probably some of the best netcode you can actually play in a fighting game this time around. Like that. Somehow works. Basically, like Marvel vs. Capcom, even has like some of the best netcode around, and has some of the best gameplay in it, and also has the most unique combo system you can actually do, and it's basically a very very thing. But obviously, the main thing with it, the main thing that turned off many players is basically how it was presented. Was basically this bad graphics, the roster right there, and how it was played as right back when it was people were wanting to check out and see how good it is, which basically was the reality zone, how good Busted Dante is, how Busted Zero is, how Busted Dormammu was, because you remember freaking the Wolves form thing that basically you had to freaking basically you had to block it right there, and you can do freaking like multiple high-low mix-ups in that set of time right there, which made Dormammu fucking probably arguably the second best character in the game because he can just charge that thing right there, and you have to be if you will force you to block. There's nothing you can do with that out of that like that because if you freaking do that right there, you basically are forced to block that no matter what because you hit the bomb right there and it still comes out.
Yeah, it's definitely super cheap stuff that and boring to watch too, because if it was like cheap stuff that was hype, people would like it, but I think nobody enjoyed like the Rose Thorn thing and then Dante Super and then the same mix up over and over, so yeah, I feel like that's what happened, and hopefully they learned from it.
Yeah, same here. Hopefully they learn better right now. But basically, presentation is key right to actually get new players into it. And obviously right there, but obviously right there, basically you have to get a good balancing on presentation and gameplay right there. Because you can have an amazing presentation right there, but have the gameplay be sit, and basically have no one play it right there. So they have to make sure that both of them actually work together. Like under that in birth right there, that gameplay and presentation works extremely well. Dragon Ball Fighters, that presentation of how the anime looks and how it plays extremely well. But basically because of the presentation, the gameplay didn't match well. I think that's why people did not want to play Infinite. That's why people dropped it right there and everything like that.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on this.
Yeah. So basically, hopefully they know what to not do again. Basically, make sure that they fix the presentation in the game so that people don't immediately freaking just scoff at the game right there and basically just go on and play the new game right there for it. That's the one thing that you have to fix the most, because look, basically with how popular Marvel character is right there, basically that game should have blown the fuck up. But because they didn't have the characters that people wanted to play or used to seeing right there, and because how bad the game looked, it basically just scoffed off almost any new player that wanted to play the game, except for people that really want to try out that Rocket Raccoon looks pretty good. I think freaking Gamora. It's but then you realize who the fuck wants to play Gamora right there.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, that's basically what probably they have to not do again, which is basically not freaking make the same mistake like last time. So they have to make sure that they make sure the presentation's up to par with the gameplay. That's the number one thing they have to do.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So actually, that's one of us what we think about the game, what we think about the rumor, and hopefully it comes to fruition sometime soon. Obviously, the only time we might see the game might be at EVO, but it could be one at the major tournaments beforehand, or it might be like a random review during the time of the year with the rumors going on right now. You don't know. Hopefully, we will see in the future like that.
Hopefully, it's soon.
Hopefully so. Well, I'd like to thank you all for watching today for Team Area Combos right here. Right now, Jaco is busy doing something, so I will say goodbye for him. I am Flying High. He is Jaco Man, and we have C Wolf.
Yes, thank you guys for having me once again. It was a wonderful Team Hero Combos, and I really enjoy every time I'm here in the show.
And thank you guys for watching, and we see you next time on the next Team Hero Combos. Have a nice night.